right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Orange Peelers. I've stolen the intro, Zane.
No, it's back in your grasp now.
I've claimed it back. I didn't even offer for you to do it, so I apologise.
But for probably the first time this season, or maybe not, my team actually won the weekend. Your team didn't.
You reckon it's the first time?
I don't know. It could be. Trying to think.
Yeah.
No, well, Good Friday, obviously. We beat you, but
outside of Good Friday.
I can't.
Well, Souths don't normally win, do they?
Well, lately they have been.
Lately they have been. No, they're surely...
So have the Bulldogs.
Dogs lost the other week.
Oh,
against
yes.
Roosters.
When we beat Broncos. No, or whoever it was. No, it's the 14-0 against Manly.
You're just making stuff up, mate.
That game's forgettable, so I don't...
Just making stuff up.
I don't know. I've lost track of our wins now.
Yeah, you've won way too many. Speaking of wins, Zane, you and South Sydney, we say it every week, but you and your tipping are making a South Sydney comeback.
Thanks, Gold Coast, for ruining my perfect round. Or I can say, I'm not going to blame Gold Coast. I'm going to blame myself for tipping Gold Coast at Brookvale, where we only have begun a surge into the finals by the looks of it. They're hitting form at the right time of the year.
I just think never tip against Tom Trbojevic at Brookvale.
Nah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Won't make that mistake again this year, unless they play the Rabbitohs there, but which they're not, so won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I think, shout out to Manly at Brookvale. Obviously, we'll touch on that. But let's start at the start of the round. We'll get straight into the rugby league. There's no Origin to talk about.
Origin's
It's done. We're just back into rugby league.
Until May next year.
I just realised it's about time I put out the Q&A sticker again on Instagram. I didn't do it this week, but next week the Q&A will be back. And I think we'll be mixing up things a little next week as well, Zane. So stay tuned for that if you're watching. But yeah, let's talk about the goal-kicking masterclass that was the New Zealand Warriors and the Canberra Raiders.
So I did watch this game briefly. It was back and forth football, but Warriors had the chance to level it with minutes to go, and unfortunately Chanel Harris-Tavita missed the conversion, losing the Warriors the game, and in my opinion, destroying their finals hopes.
Yeah, and it wasn't his first missed goal either, poor Chanel Harris-Tavita. He missed 3 from 3, and 2 of them were very kickable. Let me put it this way. If you gave me 5 attempts at where he was kicking from, I probably would have got one.
So would have I.
Yeah?
Which is kind of like, I know there's a lot of pressure at these games, so these guys have to practice, so I probably wouldn't have the complete truth.
If you put me in that exact situation, maybe I'm not kicking one from 5.
Didn't
Nathan Hindmarsh
kick one from the sideline once?
He did.
So did Sam Burgess.
I don't know if you'd say from the sideline, but...
So did Sam Burgess.
Let me put it this way. They kicked him from further out than Chanel Harris-Tavita was.
They nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed both of them.
So, thoughts and prayers to Chanel Harris-Tavita. Obviously, a bit rough on him. He wasn't looking too good post-game. And obviously, they did score more tries than the Raiders. And, I think it's fair to say he did cost them the game. But at the same time, you can't just blame him entirely. They could have wrapped it up a bit
more
earlier.
To prevent those... Not Raiders, Warriors should have done a bit more to prevent those tries in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, when it's 4 tries to 3, you should be winning. I don't know why Adam Pompey stopped goal kicking. Did he get injured?
I think he might have been.
He has to have. Orange Peelers legend.
Did he even play in this game?
Yeah, because he kicked the first goal.
No, he went off, didn't he?
Yeah,
where he got
I think he
injured.
got concussed. I just want to double check because, he has he thrown Chanel Harris-Tavita under the bus? Yeah, he played 41 minutes. So maybe, do you blame him?
Well, there's not much you can do with it. Head knock, is there?
I'm just surely after Chanel's first 2 attempts, give somebody else a turn.
Well, that's
Tiamo, Martin, Roger.
That's what South
Surely
Cody
Dallin,
Walker,
surely anyone.
No, Cody Walkers were a bit more obvious that they had to change it up a bit, but the replacement wasn't any better, and that was the case with the Warriors as well.
Do you reckon that is a record time that you've mentioned South as early as possible in Orange Peelers?
Oh, no, I'm just using them as an example for this situation.
Interesting. What was the key moment of the game outside of the missed goal kick?
Was the missed goal kick.
But outside of the missed goal
Warriors
kick,
scoring that try with minutes to go.
Yeah.
Thinking we'd level it up. It was in kickable range.
I think,
but unfortunately, it didn't go as planned.
It was interesting because I don't know if you saw the start of the game, but Raiders flew out of the gates. Hudson Young 2 tries in 10 minutes. And it looked like Raiders were just going to absolutely obliterate the Warriors, and then
Raiders
they fall back.
So often do. They let the opposition back into the game, but they'll just find a way to grind it out, and that's what they did once again here. I just don't know why the Raiders refuse to win by big margins. They just like letting the other teams back
Apparently. I just think it's credit to the Warriors for hanging in it, and as I've said,
second
they
game
scored
in a
more
row
tries.
They've done that. They did against the Dogs as well. Well, they were up against the Dogs, weren't they? Or were the Dogs
they were up against the Dogs, by 2, I think. But just unable to come away with points again, which has been honestly the story of the Warriors season. Yes. The amount of times we've been on here and gone, they were the better team or they
That
played
was
so
the
good, but
Sharks
they
game.
don't win.
The Sharks game in round 1, they were up
Yeah.
12-0. The Storm, which was
Yep.
just unlucky completely.
Yep.
What else was there? Were they?
I feel like the
Gold
first
Coast.
5 weeks.
Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Over there in New Zealand, obviously, they lost by 60 to them as well.
Yeah.
But they want to forget about that game. But it's been multiple games this year where the Warriors are up and they just can't get it done.
Well, there's even just been games where they're not even up, but like they're just playing good.
Yeah.
But just not as good as the other team. It's
They had
like
a
they're
draw
in,
with Manly as well.
like they're in the bottom 4. The fall off is insane.
The Warriors fans don't like to mention it, though, do they?
I bet they don't.
They're
All the
pretending it's not
bandwagoners.
happening.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna. Finals isn't out of the picture, but
pretty much
actually,
is at this point.
they're 1 point below South and Knights, who I'm like probably one loss away
They're
from
hanging
out of
on a
contention.
thread,
Yeah,
both those sides.
100 and Broncos as well. Obviously Broncos with Reynolds back, which we'll get to. I don't have anything else out of this game though.
It's just the talking point was obviously the
Yeah.
misconversion, which is unfortunate, but
Yeah,
what more can we say?
not much. All right, I'll let you talk about Damien Cook now.
Oh, I've got a
South
bit of place
Tigers.
to talk about here. South 42 to the Tigers 28. South were up 10-0 in like 8 minutes. I'm like, whoa, this will be a try-fest for South here. This is going to be fun. And Tigers took the lead out
Yeah.
of nowhere. And from there, it's just back and forth. And when Tigers looked like they were on top, they just made a stupid error, let South back into the game, and South scraped out a win here.
They were winning in the second half, weren't they? The
Yes,
Tigers?
they were.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, who was the number 2 for the Tigers? I'm trying to remember. You can find it there. I'll know his name when I see it.
Number 2, Luke Law-Lily.
Yes, drops it on the full off the kick. And Walker just picks up and scores. South take back the league, and that was pretty much the turning point of the game.
Yeah.
And I think he dropped it again like a few sets later.
He didn't have a great game.
No, he didn't. But this is what the Tigers have done. They're in most of their games this year. They're
Yeah.
just stupid errors and stupid penalties that were so avoidable.
Yeah.
Just cost them.
How about Talon De Silva?
Yes.
His little
yes. And I'm like
20-minute
with
period.
Coruscant out, which I think your prediction was Coruscant would play, but
Yeah, well, I needed him to play for
I'm
my
like,
Supercoach.
who is this guy? We should be fine. But
Have you heard of Talon De Silva?
I have heard his name. But I'm like, he's not Afi
He
Coruscant.
debuted last year.
I was like, he's not Afi Coruscant. So
Clearly
this should
is.
be a walk in the park.
He
He
turned into prime
killed it.
Michael
Him and
Jordan.
Lachlan Galvin killed it for the
Yeah.
Tigers.
Yeah. They played together through the juniors, so they've got a really good sense of each other and just can read each other's minds, essentially.
No, these guys are going to be there for the future of the Tigers.
Yeah.
And if the Tigers let them go, they'd be kidding themselves. That honourable mention I want to give, Tane Milne. After
Shockingly.
what he copped last week, had an immortal-worthy first half. 3 try assists in the first half
Yeah.
from Tane Milne.
Yeah.
Off a kick, off a brilliant passer. He was just outstanding.
And like at centre as well.
Defensively as well, he was outstanding in this game, which never thought I'd be praising Tane Milne the way I am right
And no double movements.
now. No, not this
No
week.
sin bins.
No.
Incredible.
Unbelievable
Incredible.
for Tane Milne, but overall the defence of South is concerning again, like it was early in the year. It's
Yeah.
just some occasions where there's just players aren't giving 100% effort in a tackle.
Yeah.
But I'll sort of lean out, put the arm out, try and grab them. I'm like, go in with intent like you have been doing the past few months. I don't know if it's like certain players not being there has driven that standards to drop.
As in like Latrell.
And Murray,
Yeah.
them not being there.
Even
has
Jai
just-
Arrow.
Yeah, well, Jairo, yeah, you're right as
He's
well.
all effort, Jai Arrow.
You know, I wasn't satisfied with this win.
Well, I think leaking 28 points to the Tigers can't be overlooked.
No. Well, the Storm did as well.
Yeah, and it couldn't be overlooked then
But
either.
at the same time, you know, the Tigers have conceded 40-plus points in the last 4 games they've played.
Yeah.
So their defence isn't on par either. But,
Yeah.
yeah, as a South supporter this season, I should be taking every win for granted and just being happy. We have one...
Not taking them for granted.
have one
Don't
six-
take them for granted, Zane. You said
yeah.
take them for granted.
Well, yeah. You
Don't
know what
take
I mean.
them for granted.
You know what I mean? Just appreciate them.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen too many... Well, recently we have, but won 6 of our last 7. But you didn't... Oh, that can't believe that happened. Okay.
The cameras are like, what happened? Anyway, continue. Well, that was your phone, eh?
Yeah, no, it was 100% the phone.
Yeah, definitely.
We won 6 of our last...
You won 6 of your last
Yeah,
7?
We've won...
I wish the mics would pick
Oh
more
my
up. 'cause
gosh,
that'd be so
imagine.
good. I'm sorry for our listeners. We're not going to disclose what happened, but just, I promise you it was funny.
It's a natural part of the body, it was. So we've won 6 of our last 7 games, so we are winning quite a few more games.
Yeah.
Finals, it's still there, but
It's still-
extremely... Like, if they lose a game, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless we get mathematically, teams start losing above us, which All possibilities can happen.
So once you lose a game, you're falling into mathematical territory.
Well, yes, but if the
I reckon
Broncos
you're in it
continue
now.
to lose, if the Dragons continue to
What do
lose,
you
and the
continue-
Raiders continue to lose,
Using the word continue for a lot of teams that
yes,
just won
if
on
they
the
continue
weekend.
to lose,
All those teams are coming off wins. How can you say continue to lose?
yeah, but if South can just back out a few wins, and let's say the Dolphins, Dragons, Cowboys, Raiders, Broncos just lose every game for the rest of the year. and
You're
South
naming
win
a lot of
2.
teams that are coming off wins.
I know. I'm just looking at the possibilities.
I think the middle of the ladder, literally 5th through to 12th.
People aren't recognising that South's only
All
4
in
points
form.
out of the 8 right now. 4.
Yeah.
If we beat the Dolphins, would have been 2. But we're 4.
4's a lot considering how close the comp is, though.
But it can change quickly.
100%.
Like,
But
the side,
it's a,
yeah.
4's a big gap because of how tight it is. But it's the same for the Broncos. It's the same for the Knights. It's even more for the Warriors. So, their finals is not out of the question. It's just really hard.
Very, very unlikely.
Especially with their run, because they play Storm and Panthers.
But, I mean, I've seen take today where the Roosters were on 20 points this time last year. Where they finish in the finals. So
they went on an insane run.
Anything can happen.
100%. But it's going to be very hard. It was very hard for the Roosters.
Very hard, yes.
It wasn't impossible for the Roosters. They did it, but that doesn't mean, it was so easy for them.
But it doesn't take away the fact that I think the current top 8 is what, maybe a different order, but the teams that are currently in the top 8 will be the top 8 by the end of the season.
Yeah, okay. So you reckon Broncos aren't going to make it?
Nah.
Really?
No, I think Dolphins will find a way to hang on in there. Same with the Bulldogs.
And Cowboys?
I think
and
Cowboys,
Bulldogs?
Cowboys have their run home. I think they'll...
I think the
they'll
current top 5, unless Tommy Turbo gets injured again, is locked in. Like Manly being 5th. And then Bulldogs, Dolphins, Cowboys.
You don't see Manly top 4 at all?
I didn't say they can't get top 4. I said the top 5 is locked in. Not as in into
Yeah,
position.
but you said Manly as 5th.
I meant as in because I referenced Tommy Turbo.
I reckon they could. I've
I'm
looked at their run home. They could be a smoky for top 4.
I'm not saying they can't be. I'm saying what first, second, third, fourth, and fifth are all locked into finals. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't mean
agree.
Manly locked
I
into
agree.
fifth.
I
I
think Manly
mean,
will make it.
I was just saying Manly are 5th, and then Bulldogs, Dolphins, Cowboys, Dragons, Raiders, Broncos, and Souths. I think can all play finals. Knights equal with Souths and Broncos, but I don't think they're playing finals. I don't think Souths are playing finals either, but I think Souths are more of a chance than Knights.
Oh, if you look at the Knights' run home, it could be different.
They have a good run home.
South have a very tough one though.
We'll keep Knights in the mix then. Why not? They've got Kalen Ponga back. You never know. Anything else out of South's game?
It was a pretty poor quality game defensively. There were lots of tries, so if you enjoy watching lots of tries, you would have really enjoyed this game. But overall,
it was like 40 points in the first half.
It was a bottom of the table poosely of this game.
What was the key moment of the game?
Key moment of the game would have been when Cody Walker went over for that late try after the knock on, which pretty much is where South took over from that point and just slotted the win in.
Yeah.
Another 2 points.
Damien Cook, centre again?
Yes.
Do you reckon he could find a home there at the Dragons?
Must have watched that Origin game well and seen that.
Must have liked it.
May as well throw a cookie there. Goal kicking as well, 7 from 8.
Yeah.
Watch him turn. He missed the first one, which was exact same position as Harris Tavita. I'm going, no, this is going to happen again. But no, he nailed it for the rest of the night.
I saw some people on Instagram just absolutely praising the goal kicking of Damien Cook.
Yes,
saying it was Nathan Cleary-like.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If you had to do a power rankings, Zane, just quickly of the entire NRL, where would South sit?
In what fashion do you reckon?
As in power rankings? Not tiers, power rankings.
If we're basing off the
1
weekend.
to 17.
Then probably 14th.
Go current.
14th.
14th?
Based off the weekend.
Not
14th.
third?
No, definitely not third.
I saw somebody on the weekend put them third.
Yes, I did as well. Yeah. I found that very strange.
I wanted that South
What have they done
opinion.
to be third?
Because
it reminded me of one of Fox League's rankings, having them in third.
That's a bit harsh though, calling it Fox League.
Yeah, I'm comparing it to that.
Nobody's that bad. All right, let's go to Knights Broncos at Newcastle. Broncos, they're back. Adam Reynolds, Reece Walsh absolutely dominated for the Broncos.
Knights came out of the gates in this game. They were really competitive early, but bombed a couple of tries. But from there, Dolphins, Broncos took over, and then Knights, they didn't give up. They kept fighting to the back end of the game. If you saw, they scored a few tries, and they looked confident that they could fight their way back in, but it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Broncos, just far too good for them.
I think, let's focus on the Knights first. Warriors last year, we just talked about their fall off this year. Knights obviously were in finals and went on an insane run last year.
But you know how
they've
I feel
fallen off
about,
a bit. What's going on?
You know how I feel about them? I feel like that was a fluke last year.
Yeah.
I know they did win 10 in a row and good on them, but it was pretty fluky. They were rubbish for most of that season until the back end when they flogged your Bulldogs and just went on a run.
Who'd they beat week 1 of the finals?
They beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
That was a very good game as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Then the Warriors pumped them the week after, but I expected this fall off. Like, I didn't have the Knights top 8 preseason.
I think I had them bottom 4.
Yeah, like I just thought I did see it as a fluke last year.
Yeah.
So it's just like I feel like they will miss the 8. I think I had them like 10th maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Just missing it. I feel like they're probably going to finish.
Yeah, like did you expect them to fall off this hard?
Well, I thought they'd just miss the 8 because I thought, they...
Where are they at the moment? 13th.
Yeah, that's where I think they're going to finish.
What do you reckon's going wrong for them?
I don't know. I'm just like they've lost Dom Young. Obviously, was a huge loss for him in the preseason.
Yeah, Ponga obviously was out.
Ponga's been out most of the year. Their halves,
just don't click, bro. Yeah, they just don't, and they chop and change.
Yeah, that's the issue as well. I just don't think they're forwards.
What about like Paul Will Price? He comes in for 2 weeks. I thought he did all right. He wasn't like the best player in the world. His debut was really good. The next game he had wasn't his best game, but like I thought he did fine. And then he gets named to play and gets dropped the day of the game for Tyson Gamble, who they like started the season with. And like obviously Jack Cogger's been in the mix there as well. He's been with Gamble. He's been with Hastings. I think every single Knights half has been dropped at some stage. Yeah. And it's just like just pick 2 blokes. But like Will Price,
they've got a lot of salary cap
2
issues
games
as well, I believe, at this point. I just don't think the Saifidi brothers are the players they used to be. I feel like
they're on the way out.
Yeah, I feel like they need to move on to try and resurrect their career somewhere else.
It's just very weird. And then like last year, obviously Phoenix Crossland did well at hooker, so then he's been given the hooker spot. But you have like your captain Jaden Brayley, who before he got injured last year was like one of the best hookers in the comp. Like I would have said he was a top 5 hooker. He's talented. He was in Origin conversations like 2 years ago. And then he's like, I don't know if he came off the bench on the weekend, but he has been coming off the bench.
I just feel like they panicked.
He was off the bench. It's just like I just
feel like they panicked too quickly the Knights. Like if they lose a game, they make too many changes, and it just
like 2 games. Will Price got 2 games, and then you drop him.
Yeah,
you like it's just the halves. I just can't get over how often they change.
They got a very
halves.
good back line though, and that's their key. Their back line.
Yeah,
one of the best in the competition. Well
I
at
don't
least
know if
last year it was. I reckon.
Yeah, I think with Dom, when it was Dom
Young, Gagai, best, and Marju, one of the best in the comp. This year, not the same, but that's their strongest point. Their back line, the Knights. But
on the other hand,
most games the Knights they are in them. They are in them, but there's some games like the Bulldogs one, for example, where they just show absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
and they get flogged, and that's just been the motto of their year. Just can't get it done.
The Broncos, on the other hand, with Adam Reynolds returning from injury, they just picked up right where they left off.
I don't think they were 100% at their best,
which is scary.
Like I feel like they've still got a few weeks before they will be back there, but they were very good in this game.
Reece Walsh as well absolutely killed it. I think him having Adam Reynolds back has just helped him get back to where he was before his Origin head knock. If you want to call it a head knock, you could also call it an attempted assassination. But in light of recent events, probably just best to call it a head knock. But I think the Origin boys in particular, plus Adam Reynolds, is what really helped the Broncos in this one. I think it was really important for them that they backed up. But what did you make of the Broncos?
The issue is I don't think they're going to... I can't see them going undefeated for the rest of the year. I feel like they have to lose again.
So look at their run home. Because they can afford to lose one.
They play Melbourne in the last round.
So they play Dogs, should win. Titans, should win. Cowboys, winnable. And then the bye, which is very handy. Very handy. Eels should win.
Plenty as well.
Dolphins, winnable.
Never know. You never know.
Storm. And they can afford to lose one game and still get 13 wins. So, like...
And they got a good front against a lot of those sides down there.
I think, like, obviously, if you look at their form without Adam Reynolds, you go, oh, okay, that's a big ask to win nearly all those games. But just the way they played with Adam Reynolds back, I think they probably do play finals footy. And I was like ready to rule them out a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't think Reynolds was returning this soon. He was meant to return around 23.
Well, I think they needed to bring him back a bit earlier.
And I guess
on the line here.
You got to hope that they haven't brought him back too early and that he re-injures himself. Really.
Yeah, imagine that.
That'd be bad. Because he was down to come back next week. Not even this weekend, next weekend. So he's come back 2 games earlier. And that could be season defining though, because those 2 games could be the difference that gets him into the finals. So it could be a genius move.
I'm a bit upset at Adam Reynolds at the moment.
Why?
Some comments he made.
What did he say about South?
Saying that he was happy to see him struggling. Like, what kind of player comes out publicly and says that?
I'm always happy to see them.
And what I don't like is this whole agenda that the media started saying South, and I'm going to quote, got rid of him.
They did.
South never got rid of him.
They turned their back.
They offered him a deal and he rejected it.
They turned their back on him.
Not
they lowballed him.
They offered him a deal.
They offered him 1 year. He wanted 2. All he had to do was give him a second year.
John Sutton was offered a 1-year deal at some point, and he took it because he's loyal. If Adam Reynolds was really loyal, he would have taken it.
If South were loyal, they could have offered him 2
years.
And he wanted 3.
Yeah, I'm like, well, just take the 2 years and just renegotiate then. I'm sure they'll be happy to keep you.
Did you just say take the 2?
Yes.
That's giving me PTSD. Dear.
In the context of, take the 2 years and reset. Like, he really wanted 3 years for some reason. Like, I don't know why 3. Like, not.
Well,
4,
he probably just wanted
2,
to secure
3.
his future because of how injury prone he is.
Yes, but I know. But the thing is, South would have loved to have kept him. They would not have forced him to leave the club at all.
I feel like he was forced out.
I don't think he was. And if he was, then you look at where that's left us. The coach that was taken over, who forced him out. Where's he now? He's unemployed.
Yeah.
Working in radio. So, but I'm just a bit upset that Adam Reynolds would come out and make those comments about our club that made his career.
Nah, definitely weird comments, especially he won a comp at South.
Yeah.
And he was a South junior, wasn't he? Like,
and
that
the
is.
captain.
Yeah.
Like,
that
it's
is
just a bit like.
A bit hectic.
Like, I don't know if it's similar to the Scott Prince situation the other week where he said he rejects signing with the Titans. Like, what are with these players coming out and dissing their old clubs?
I guess just. Sometimes players have falling outs with clubs, I guess. And
but I don't think Sick Reynolds has had a falling out. He was at the 10-year reunion.
He clearly has, though, if he's saying that stuff. Like, I don't know.
He was at the 10-year reunion.
Yeah.
He was in the change rooms the other week. So he's still mates with all the players. I know that much.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he still says that. I think it's probably more
with the club
higher-ups that he's a bit upset with, a bit stroppy with.
Yeah, a bit weird. Definitely, like, and if that's how you feel... Why do you have to say it?
Yes.
Just keep it to yourself. Say it to a mate at a bar or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on, Zane, unless you want to say anything about the Broncos.
No, I've just said I think they're not back to their best yet, but I think as the weeks go on, we might see them hit their peak.
It'll be a good test for them this weekend against the biggest premiership threats.
Yes.
Good test for them.
In the day as well.
Yeah, Storm Roosters at Melbourne. It was hyped up to be game of the round. I don't know if it lived up to the hype.
No, I don't think it was game of the round.
But it was still a cracker. It was still all right.
It's a very strange game, what happened here. So there's just multiple things that the Roosters did where I'm just like, what are you doing?
Like what? Give some examples.
Ball, which they did probably about 3 times this game.
Yeah.
But the Storm just executed a lot better than what the Roosters did.
And had more chances, I feel, as well.
Yes. But the Roosters are the most penalised team in the competition.
Oh, genuinely?
Yes.
Yeah, true.
I know, it's Ashley Klein's again. No, it wasn't Ashley Klein. It's every referee.
Yeah.
The Roosters do stupid things. And Ashley Klein is one of the only refs who actually exposes that. That's why I don't like Ashley Klein. But I expected Melbourne to win this game, regardless of who they had out down there.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I sense the Roosters upset, but...
Roosters were favourites. It wasn't even an upset. Somehow Roosters were favourites.
But, Roosters have won one game out of 19 against the Storm and the Panthers.
Yeah.
The 2 teams that are in the way of them winning the competition.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
On Roosters not being able to beat Storm and Panthers?
Not just that. They've won one game against the current top 8 team all year.
My thoughts? I think, it is a concern, but I feel like finals are a different beast. Obviously, they didn't do it in finals last year. Who'd they beat week 1?
Sharks.
They beat Sharks, and then did they make it to week 3?
No, they lost
to Storm week 2.
Controversial.
So yeah, it is definitely something they have to sort out. I saw Aaron Woods on Triple M said it's just styles clashing. And so maybe they need to just go back to the drawing board and find a different style of footy to play against those teams. But I'm not too concerned.
They're putting 40 plus on some of the bottom sides, but then they come against these good sides and they just can't get it done.
Yeah.
They just can't score. They just make errors. They just give away penalties. I don't know if it's the pressure. And what the Storm actually did really well in this game, they targeted Dom Young in defence.
Yeah. Which is
And
smart.
I think that's a weakness in the Roosters, especially with Sitili Tupanua
at centre. Yeah, slow.
Very defensively, that's a bit of a weakness.
100%.
Grant Anderson had night of his
He had a
life,
field day.
Yeah.
He had like a Joey 05 like
I love that we're
performance.
dissing Tilly Tupanua after he's heading to the Bulldogs.
We're not
dissing him, but we're
as
saying
a centre.
defensively
Yeah,
he's a bit.
defensively the reads are different at centre compared
Not
to
even
back
at
row
centre,
and
just in
prop.
general. I've always
Well, I'm
been a bit,
not dissing
about
him generally in defence. I'm dissing him at centre in defence. Like, obviously,
They should have played Michael James.
obviously, a
there.
forward isn't going to be as good at centre, especially next to Dom Young. Like, that's just obviously not going to work. I'm very excited for the Sitili's Tupanua signing. I think it's a great signing. I think he's a great player. I don't rate him as a centre. I hope he's signed as a forward, which I assume he has. I don't understand. As you said, like, they have Michael Jennings there. I don't know why they're playing Tupanua at centre. Maybe they're trying to
experienced centre in
maybe they're just trying to stitch him up a little bit before he comes to the Dogs.
It's just But I mean, it's just all year we've been saying, the Roosters are a powerhouse when they put 40 on the Tigers and the Rabbitohs and all these sides, but then they can't beat the Storm, can't beat the Panthers.
They can't beat the good sides. Bulldogs, Storm, Panthers have lost to all those
and
teams.
I know they're pretending they're not phased by it. They're like, oh, we'll be fine. But like, don't you think the Roosters, have they peaked already this year?
I don't know if they've peaked, but they just
Can they go to
can't.
another level than what they already have?
I think so.
I can't see it.
I think they can.
I just think they've hit their peak already.
I don't think they've peaked.
They're a side that tends to build into their seasons.
Hmm.
This season's been the opposite. They've been good at the start, but we'll have to see how they go against Manly this
I
week.
think you're reading very hard into one loss against the team coming first.
That they were very confident that they'd win as well.
Were
I think
they
they were
always
first-
Hainsey? Like,
That without Cameron Munster, without Nelson Asafa Solomona, without Xavier Coates. Who else was out this game?
Roosters
Someone else was
were
out.
missing players as well, were they not? Like, they're missing Jared.
Yeah.
And I think they had somebody else out. Like, neither team was at full strength. They had more Origin players backing up than the Storm did. Like, I think you're being a bit harsh on a team that's just lost to the team coming first.
I'll
It's
be
the
harsh. I'll keep being harsh on them.
It's Melbourne in Melbourne.
I'm very excited for
You're
Manly.
reading very hard into a loss in Melbourne against Melbourne. Like, most teams lose that game. When was the last time South beat Melbourne in Melbourne?
We never have.
It's like,
But we've got a better record against the Storm recently than what the Roosters do. in
congratulations, you're also not in the top 8.
general. And Magic Round last year was a Melbourne home game. So we have beat the Melbourne at home.
But I said in Melbourne.
Well, you got me there. We finally got
I
a
said in
home
Melbourne,
win
bro.
against Melbourne.
Let's go to Panthers Dolphins. Unless you know what? Give me a key moment from the Storm Roosters game.
I'm going to say Grant Anderson's try where he just ran for all the charge down try.
Yeah.
Far longer at the back end of the game.
I don't know if that was a key moment. Didn't really decide the game.
It was the deciding point. Like
The
Storm
game
were up
was
by
over
10.
by then.
True, but Storm were up by 10, so Roosters were still a fighting chance. But
Yeah, fair
it
enough.
was one of those two tries. Anderson's where he just ran through untouched.
I thought Anderson deserves a bit more credit. We're giving him credit,
I
but
thought he was
far out. He was
outstanding
great.
this game.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
fantastic. Panthers Dolphins. Nathan Cleary is back. In case you didn't know, did you know that he's
Yeah,
back?
I do know.
Because if you didn't know, you know now
He
after
was
this
involved in
game.
everything.
Yeah.
What is so... Dolphins had this game in the bag as well.
Yeah.
They had it. They should not have lost it, but Penrith just refused to lose. Refuse.
It was
Cleary
26
turns it
to
on.
12.
Gets the Panthers back into it, and then in Golden Point just clutches and nails perfect 2-point field goal.
And
Straight down
it
the
was like a
middle.
45-meter one from near the sideline. Or not like on the sideline, but, probably
Yeah.
halfway between the sideline and the middle of the field. It wasn't in front. Dolphins 26 to 12. They were up with 20 minutes left, and it looked like it was going to be one of the upset. Oh, it wasn't that big of an upset in my opinion because Panthers were missing so
we
many
said
players.
it. We're like, they were paying
Yeah.
like $4.
We said it was
And we're
value,
with
yeah.
top Penrith resting their players. That's good value.
But it was similar to the grand final last year when Nathan Cleary just took complete control. They scored in the 59th minute and the 63rd minute to bring the game back into action. Nathan Cleary heavily involved. And then he kicks a penalty goal to tie the game. And then, as you said, he kicked the 2-point field goal to win it. And it was such a good 2-point field goal. It's not talked enough about like how insane that, because he just does it all the time. It's just expected.
But Wayne Bennett's in the press conference. He wants Golden Point gone.
He says
Like,
that all
I
the
want
time.
that gone. He's just bitter from that
Yeah.
2015
Salty,
grand final.
salty,
Every
yeah.
Golden Point loss, he says that.
He
Even
does.
after wins, he says it.
He
He's
even
like,
says
I
it when
don't
it's
want-
not his team in Golden Point.
Even when he wins, he says it. He's like,
Yeah.
I prefer the draw, but Wayne, that's just how it is. Your team couldn't win it.
I just
Penrith could.
I think. Did you watch it?
I was at
did you
work.
see the? You didn't see the
No,
end.
I
think you
didn't.
said.
I got my phone on just as Penrith was celebrating.
Yeah, because
The kick.
the way it felt for the last after he kicked the penalty goal, you could just tell like Nathan Cleary's kicking the field goal to win this game. Like you just knew what was going to happen, and then it happened.
And like you said before, people looking too much into one loss. Like Dolphins played well in this game.
Yeah,
I know it was Penrith, basically their reserve grade side, but their reserve grade side are a very good side as well. I know it's not NRL level, but Dolphins I didn't think were that bad. I mean, every time I turned the game on, Penrith had scored.
Dolphins were very good.
They were.
So
for people saying, "Oh, this is where the fall off begins," we've been saying that for weeks, and they will win. You watch them win next week. I don't know who they're playing, but you just.
But they'll win.
I guarantee.
Let's have a look.
You watch them
who
play
they play this
Storm.
weekend? Titans.
They'll win.
There you go.
Oh, they should win.
Zane's
I'm
guarantee.
assuming they win.
Zane's guarantee. No, I think Isaiah Katoa was really good. Hammer was really good. Bostock had a great game. I think Dolphins have so many positives to take out of it. The only thing they missed was like the win. Like
I don't think they've ever won a golden point.
Yeah, they probably haven't.
They've lost 2 to the Raiders. They've lost this one. I don't think they've ever won golden.
No wonder Wayne Bennett hates it.
Yeah.
But no, I thought like full credit to the Dolphins. They were so good, but that's the difference Nathan Cleary makes for the Panthers. That's why they're so scary, because they've been doing good without him, and now they have Cleary back. All the Origin players are about to come back in after a week off. They're going to be rested. It's like it's scary. Yeah, like the run's beginning now. They're in second place, and it's just beginning. It is very, very scary. I think Panthers are in for a huge end of season. Can I give you a bold prediction? Panthers to go undefeated up until finals. I think they'll win the rest of their regular season game. Well, they'll lose to the Bulldogs in the prelim. I guess, Panthers go. Yeah, I'll go one better. Panthers go undefeated until the prelims.
Until the prelim.
I think they'll lose a prelim final.
What? Not even a grand?
They'll lose the prelim, I think.
Who do the Dogs take on the grand?
Roosters or Storm.
Okay.
There you go.
Prefer out of the two? Roosters because they can't beat the good sides, or Storm?
I feel like Roosters is more poetic. Because it's 20 years on. But Storm is poetic because of 2012.
Yeah, get revenge.
I think Roosters, be a bigger crowd.
Yeah.
Better atmosphere.
Right. And, we don't want to see a Storm there
bigger
again.
rival,
Just whatever. The Storm, they're there every year.
I will say, though, Panthers probably should be favourites to win the comp.
I'm still pretty confident at this point it's going to be Penrith-Melbourne, but we'll have to
They can't win 4 in a row, can they?
Well,
they just
Melbourne,
can't.
I'm not saying Penrith can win it. I'm just saying I think Penrith-Melbourne.
Look, I think Panthers should be the favourites, but then I go, but they're just not winning 4 in a row.
That's
it's just
the
not
issue.
possible.
Surely not.
But I said that about 3 in a row.
I said this year, I reckon they go. I reckon whoever beats them in the finals will win the comp.
Yeah.
Even if it's the Dolphins,
it's just
even if it's the Cowboys.
They're just too good, man. It's actually unfair. Like they've been going all right without Cleary, and then Cleary steps in and just reminds everyone of like, hey, like I'm the best player in the comp. Like I think he's the best player in the NRL.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
By far.
Like it's just
we forgot
unfair.
how good he is over this Origin period where he hasn't played. And everyone's like, oh, Moses locked it in, but he hasn't locked it in.
And I think the fact that Moses did what he did in Origin and arguably has stolen the 7 jersey, that's only gonna fire Nathan Cleary up, and now he's got a point to prove. He's got to, at an NRL level, he's got to be, hey, like Panthers are still here, we're still the champs. Because I feel like they probably are being slept on a little bit at the moment. They're not being talked about as much as normal. Plus, then Origin, he has to prove that that's his jersey. He's got to win his jersey back. And so he's just got a lot to prove, doesn't he? Like, it's scary what he's capable of. We saw what he did in the grand final last year. And if he wants to do that every week, I think he's capable of doing it.
He's a future immortal, and there's no denying that. He will be an immortal.
If he stays on the trajectory.
As much as the old farts are like, oh, he's not as good as Clive Churchill. Like, okay, if you put Cleary up against Clive Churchill, I guarantee you Cleary destroys him. And it's no disrespect to Clive Churchill, but he played in a completely different era, completely different rules. They did not have the medical strength and conditioning, training drills that they do now.
Yeah.
It was. Then you cannot compare Nathan Cleary.
Could you make the argument that if Clive Churchill was in today's game, he would have been way better?
Yes, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're saying if you go Nathan Cleary...
No, Clive Churchill in his era going up against Cleary in his era.
You're Cleary today versus Clive Churchill back then, as in not Clive Churchill with today's modern medicine and stuff. Clive Churchill back then, he was probably a plumber or something on the side. Yeah. Cleary...
And it's the same argument I have with the Dragons who won 11 in a row. I'm like, that exact Dragon side in that era, go up against this Penrith side and watch what the scoreline would be.
With their medicine and their technology.
Put them up against this Tigers side. From this year and see how they go.
Pure, the amount of tape and stuff that
the fitness,
the work that goes into
the fitness,
preparing
the
for a
speed
game,
would just win the game.
but like putting together a game plan based on, you watch so much vision of the other team. They didn't have that back then. Like you could beat them just in that aspect.
Park footy and just play to who they came up against.
I rate it though. Different time. Manly Titans, Zane.
Domination.
Speaking of teams that have clicked into form and have star players returning, Panthers and Manly are just, and Broncos you could throw in there with Reynolds returning. It is Manly the story of the season.
Hitting form at the right time of the year, aren't they?
They've jumped up to 5th.
Played a very underwhelming night side, and they Gold Coast as well. They played. Just typical Gold Coast, but Gold Coast were up pretty early in this game, but Manly just took over from there and just destroyed them in the end.
Yeah.
And the 20th Hopewadi brothers who play in the NRL, Lehigh.
Yep.
Lehigh, whatever.
Lehigh.
Yeah, Lehigh. He had a blinder and fractured cheekbone. Scored that try where he had one eye.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
One eye Lehigh.
Yeah. But how many Hopewadi brothers is there? There's Will,
I think he's
Albert,
the 7th.
Lehigh.
I genuinely think he's the 7th. Like that's not even.
There's a lot, isn't
That's
there?
not even like me being like, oh, he's the 7th here. Like he's obviously not actually the 20th. Pretty sure he is the 7th. Let's say. I think there's some sisters as well. So he might even be this. He's either the 7th kid or 7th player in the NRL. I can't really see anything here.
The ones I remember most is Will and Albert. And Albert's obviously still at the Raiders.
He will be the Hopewadi family will become the first to have 5 siblings play in the NRL. So he's the 5th Hopewadi in the NRL. Sibling. That's not even... plus his dad.
As well.
So he's the 6th Hopewadi. Unless there was a grandfather, and that is where I'm getting 7 from. So, yeah, there's a lot of them. And he might be the best one. That's a hot take for you. Will Hopewadi was handy. He played Origin.
Will played Origin, yeah, he did.
But Lehigh is a good player.
Yeah.
He's killing it at Manly at the moment.
He hasn't proven himself yet. Like, he's still got to give him a few more years, I guess. But
I like what I'm seeing from Lehigh.
So do I.
He's had some very good games and some very good moments. But I think the superstar on the weekend, the talking about, was Tom Trbojevic.
In the second half especially.
Yeah.
He just took over.
Pretty much only in the second half. He had a quiet first half.
From there.
I had him in my Supercoach Zane this week. I traded him in because Dylan Edwards got injured, so I was sort of forced to make a trade. And I went, all right, I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to go the injury-prone Tom Trbojevic. Can you guess how many points he scored me?
I'm going to say 90.
157.
Far out. What's the record on Supercoach? It was Trbojevic, wasn't it? Like 21. He scored
let's
like
have a look.
160 or something.
It's NRL Supercoach record. It would have been... I don't think anyone's ever cracked 200. All-time highest score looks like it's 159.
What did Turbo get this game?
157. Oh, no, sorry. Highest is 229. Look at these scores from Tom Trbojevic. In 2021, 229, 226.
And that's him not even being
and
captain
208.
as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you had him captain, that would have been, 400?
Yeah. I didn't captain on the weekend. I'll tell you this story. This is very Supercoach specific, but some people out there will understand. So the Storm Roosters game, 5 minutes before kickoff, legitimately 5 minutes before kickoff, I just come back from an 18-kilometer run and I'm just like out of it.
It was windy
and
as well. Yeah.
Bro, I nearly got blown into the ocean.
The wind on Saturday night. If you live in Illawarra, oh my God.
Don't start. This isn't meant to be a running podcast.
Blowing into the west. Blowing westerly.
I can promise you it was blowing that way.
Yes, my window is right there.
Yeah. Bro.
The worst night of my life.
It was 40-kilometer wind and 80-kilometer gusts. I was running out there.
The worst night of my life having a bedroom window that faces the west.
Yeah, nah, wouldn't recommend. I'll give you the advice, people. If it's really windy outside, don't go for a run.
Yeah, and don't try and walk to the servo. Yeah. And try and walk home.
Did you get blown away?
I got there very quickly, I can tell you that much. Like, walking out, I was like, felt like I was Michael Jackson in the Earth song. I was just like, oh, the wind's coming at me
bro,
there.
It's insane. Insane wind.
That's what it felt like. Should have sung along to the song there.
But
I just need some rain
so
as
I
well.
got back from my run and I'm looking at my Supercoach with Tedesco as captain. And I don't even know what happened, but I just went, no, I'm going to captain Tom Trbojevic because the person I was versing was projected to beat me by a bit. And I wanted to just, a bit of a trick play. So I switch it. Tedesco, who was their captain, which is why I switched it because I wanted a different captain to try and get more points, if that makes sense. Because if we both have Tedesco, we get the same points. Tedesco scores 30 points. And I'm going, all right, perfect. I just need Tom Trbojevic to get 31 or more. And my plans paid off. He had 20 at halftime. I was a little bit nervous. And then, 157.
Dominated from there.
Insane. He scored 2 tries, set up a bunch. His brother scored. I don't know if that counts as points for him, but same last name, close enough. But yeah, Manly just tore apart the Titans. And as you said, Titans had an early lead. I thought they were going to win.
Oh, so did I.
After-
I'm like, they've got a very good record at rookie for some reason, but no, they just...
They could. There's a lot of teams on the weekend that we can criticise their goal kicking, and Titans are part of that club.
Well, true,
0
yes.
from 2. Who was goal kicking for them? Surely not Tanner Boyd.
No, surely
He
not.
doesn't miss.
I think it was, actually.
He wasn't
I didn't
playing,
see
so
the
it can't
first,
have been.
10 minutes of this. Go
No,
up.
Tanner Boyd wasn't even playing. He was
Well,
that
it wouldn't
nth
have
man.
been, so it would have been... We go to...
Oh yeah, player stats.
No, news and video, who would be? Oh,
News
no,
and
just
video.
up, isn't it? Further up.
No, because it doesn't say.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know who it was then.
Forehand, mate. No,
Might
no,
have
it
been- might
can't have been
Phil or
forehand.
Sammy even. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry to the Titans. I wasn't paying enough attention to know who your
Yeah,
goal
but-
kicker was.
They were just poor.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had a good winning streak, and I guess, that's their high of the year, but their season's over.
Yeah, I think
They're
so.
not playing finals this year. It's just on to next year for Des Hasler.
Somebody put the dude we were talking about earlier that made the power rankings put Titans above somebody that was a bit weird. Maybe Knights.
Yeah.
Somebody that was, I think they put them above Knights and Warriors, who are both in the mix for finals mathematically.
Yeah.
And like Knights are equal with Souths and Broncos, and have a good run home.
Yes.
Anyway, shout out to those power rankings. Let's talk about the
Your
game.
team.
Bulldogs, Cowboys. Where do we even begin here?
Cowboys 20, Bulldogs 18. A very tight one, but Cowboys too strong at home.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Hilam Lukey. He was sensational for the Cowboys. I honestly don't think they win this game without him. He scored 2 tries, and he just was in everything defensively as well. I thought it was almost a breakout game for him. I think obviously he's been on the radar for a while. Like, as a good player, as a Nanai clone, but he was just absolutely phenomenal. There is a few talking points I feel, Zane. Where do
you begin here?
There's a lot of things that I just don't want to talk about because I could go on forever. Where do we begin? Let's start with the no try. What was your... Did you watch the game?
I didn't see the no try live, but I've seen images.
You've seen images?
after.
Have you seen a video?
No. But in the images, his hand's on the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's on the ball, so
Yeah.
it's a try.
Yeah. I'll see if I can pull up a video because the video... I still think it was a try based on the video. Maybe I'm biased. I know a lot of people think it was a try outside of me as well, though. But I think the video is less of a try than the image is. The image doesn't tell the full story, but I still feel like the image shows enough. Like, there was downward pressure, and the rule changed a couple years ago that you don't have to have control of the ball. You just have to have downward pressure. Just need a finger. I'm going to let this ad play out. So you based off the image, you're saying it was a try.
Well, do you remember when... Here we go, bringing up South again.
No,
do you remember when
good,
Tom
bro.
Burgess scored against the Tigers in Golden Point?
Yes.
That's what that reminded me of. The exact
That's
same
a
sort of
really
thing.
good example. That's a really good
That's
example.
why I believe it was a try.
So this is it here. Obviously,
that is a try.
If
This is what
you
it
can't
is.
see
That
it,
is a
but
try.
this is Zane's reaction. Bang.
Try.
And then you'll
Done.
see the second angle as well. I think it's downward pressure, and there's no separation. There's no separation.
Try. That's a try.
Thank you.
It's 100% a try.
Because there's no separation,
I've
and
seen
it's
so
downward
many
pressure.
occasions where that's been awarded.
That's what I said.
Who was in the bunker this game?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I don't know,
have
but
a
they
look.
should be shot.
I'll
That's a
have a look.
joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. I'll give you a hint at who was refereeing, Zane.
It was Jared Sutton, yes. Your man.
Who's the ref boss that comes out?
And Graham Annesley.
Graham Annesley. He came out and said that the bunker couldn't overrule the decision.
Peter Goff, that was in the bunker.
Peter Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was. But like as I said, there was no separation and he had downward pressure. I understand he's losing the ball. Like, fair enough. Like, he doesn't have complete control of the ball. But the rule changed for situations like this.
That's a try.
Where you don't have to have control. You have to have downward pressure and there was no separation. The rule is if you lose control, if you lose separation, you have to regather control. But he never lost it.
No.
There was no
He lost it
separation.
after he put it down.
It was down. It was frustrating. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Bulldogs taking a shot at penalty goal, went up by 2. Now, Zane, let me put you in the situation. I just want to hear your thoughts. So it was right after that try. So I don't know if you know this, but right after the try, there was a penalty. So if you watch here, Nanai knees Bailey Hayward in the head there. That was a penalty. It was put on a report, not sin bin.
They go for 2.
The Bulldogs, as you can see here, 16 minutes left. You're up 16-14. You've just scored It's ruled no try.
Take the
and you
tap.
get the penalty. I want to know, what are you doing?
And waste time.
Yeah.
Just have a slow set if you need to.
Yeah.
Right by your line.
Yeah.
If you're going for goal, I mean, like, if the Cowboys score, like, even if you're up by 4, if the Cowboys score, it'll just be 18-all.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, we can make it. If the Cowboys score, we could be down by 2. But that's not the worry.
Yeah.
If you kick this goal, you're going to get the ball up that end.
Yeah.
Cowboys could do a short drop out and a short kick off and get it. So
Well,
I
yeah,
would've taken the tap.
I think it's so much better for so many reasons. Like, if you tap it, you're parking down their end of the field. You can build pressure. You can try and get a try out of it and go to 6 or 8. My other thing is, and this might be a hot take, but I feel like, let me put it this way, and feel free to laugh at me. I play a lot of Rugby League Live 4 to the point where, like, I've been in this situation in a video game, and, like, I was laugh at me if you want, but genuinely, I feel like defending a 2-point lead, and, like, once again, I'm not basing it entirely off a video game, but an argument for the Bulldogs taking the 2 is a lot of people saying they just defended for 10 minutes a man down because Blake Wilson got sin bin and they were tired. I feel like the Bulldogs have shown enough this year that they play almost better when a man down, and they've got enough ticker and enough effort to play out the full 80 minutes tired from that 10-minute period. So I think that's a pretty lame excuse. I think defending a 2-point lead is harder. No, sorry. I think defending a 2-point lead is easier than defending a 4-point lead. And this is why. If you're up by 2 points, the Cowboys are thinking we need to score a try or kick a penalty goal or kick a 2-point field goal to win or tie the game, right? If you're up by 4, what are the Cowboys thinking? We need to score a try.
Yes.
And so you're putting the Cowboys in an entirely try-scoring mindset with a goal kicker, one of the best goal kickers in the comp in Val Holmes. They're going to kick the goal, more likely than not. And I don't also like the idea of going, if the thought process was, okay, we're up by 4, if they score, they might miss the goal. Why would you put the game in their hands? You want the game in your hands. You want control of the game. You don't want the win to be relying on, maybe he'll miss the goal. You want to go, we want to score a try now to win the game. Do you know what I mean?
Cowboys back into the game.
Yeah. I think defending a 2-point lead, it puts the opposition in multiple mindsets. You can give away an intentional penalty and let them tie the game, like force them into going for a penalty goal. Instead, if you go up by 4, you're forcing the Cowboys to score a try, and they scored the try and they kicked a goal and they won by 2 points. It was a costly decision in my opinion. Cameron Stirado came out and said that they did it because they thought there was going to be a sin bin, which in that case, I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. But even still, I still almost feel
losing
like
a man, go for a try then.
Yeah,
Go for a try.
Yeah, I think it was a weird decision. I think there's a bit of mixed feelings online about it, but I just think it was really dumb, and I think we've seen it multiple times this year. I think you said before the podcast where teams do this and then lose.
Yes. And the only time I like seeing teams take the 2 points is if the game's level.
Yeah.
If you're up by 6, or if you're up by 12, something
or 4.
like that.
Like 4 to,
I guess,
to go to 6
4 as well.
to make it a converted
if
try.
Someone's 200th game or their last hurrah, just penalty goal.
Yeah.
That's the only time you should be taking the 2 points, not when you're up by 2 points.
You want to be making it a converted try. You want to either be taking the lead, making it a converted try, or like two
8-point lead.
Yeah, like outside a converted try. I really, and like I've heard the reasoning, I've heard theories. I honestly I still don't think they should have taken the 2. It was quite frustrating. And then it's also just more frustrating the fact it probably should have been an 8-point try to begin with because he scores and then he's kneed in the head. But that was the game. I think the Bulldogs, they made too many errors. They gave away too many penalties. The game was there to be won and it wasn't won. And it's one of the frustrating ones where I didn't expect them to win. Like, I've done my ladder prediction. I had them losing this week. I had them losing against the Broncos next round. And it's just one of the frustrating ones where you don't expect them to win, but then they should have won. And so it's just so frustrating because it's like that was there for the taking. That could have been a win. But I think credit to the Cowboys as well because they played really good. They defended really good, which has been a weakness this year.
The Cowboys. I just don't know if they're going to be consistent enough.
Yeah.
At the back end of the year. I mean, they could be, but they're just such an up and down side, aren't they?
Also, shout out to Matt Burton who missed 2 goals and we lost by 2 points. Again, how many games, this is a bit of trivia, Zane, how many games this year do you think the Bulldogs have scored as many or more tries than the opposition but lost?
The Good Friday?
Yeah.
No, what, Good Friday?
That might have been one. I don't know.
Okay.
I said as many tries or more.
Magic round?
Basically, how many games have the Bulldogs lost by not kicking goals?
Magic round is one. I don't know about Good Friday.
I'm after a number.
What else is there that you lost? What are games that you've lost this year? I'm trying to remember.
How many games have we lost by goals?
So you lost to Roosters wasn't by goals. Cronulla wasn't by goals. Eels wasn't by goals.
Don't have a guess? Throw out a guess.
I'm gonna say 3.
5.
5. So most of your games.
We've lost 5 games
I know
by
the
missed
Raiders
conversions.
The
Yeah,
Raiders game in
Melbourne
Magic
in
Round.
Melbourne.
Yes, that as
I
well.
think
That's what
I think Good Friday must have been one.
I'm gonna have a look.
But yeah,
South scored 3 that game.
Panthers.
Yes, that as well.
Yeah, it's almost concerning. You probably can call it
So much
concerning.
for Mr. Clutch, Matt Burden. Eh?
Yeah, hey, he's clutch. I don't think kicking a 60th minute conversion is considered clutch. I think missing it.
No,
costs
yeah,
us the
no
game.
Good Friday.
Yeah.
You scored 3 tries, but South we're both 2 from 3, but we got 2 penalty goals.
Yeah. So it hurts. It hurts. Especially considering last year Matt Burton was the second best goal kicker in the comp.
Who was the best?
Cleary.
Cleary.
This is on percentage, not on total points or anything. On percentage, Matt Burton was second to Nathan Cleary, and he was kicking at over 80%. And this year he's kicking at less than 70%. So I don't know what happened, but hopefully he can. He got lasered in the eye and then kicked 18 goals in a row, and he didn't miss for the rest of the season.
Faded off now.
He legit did not miss a goal for the rest of the season.
Off now.
So yeah, clearly, maybe the dude with the laser can come back and boost him up. Anything? That was the last game of the round, Zane. Anything else?
You said it all there.
All right, perfect.
Time,
all right, we're going to do our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s. I actually enjoy this segment. Make sure you jump on Instagram and check out the leaderboard. There'll be a bit of movement this week because there was no graphic last week.
Okay, so shall I get started with
take us away.
1 point. I can't believe I'm saying this. Tane Milne is on the board.
On the board. Bias, mate.
Yeah, well, getting a more.
He's overcome the bias.
That first half was unbelievable from him. Second half a bit quiet, but that first half got him the point. On 2 points, Grant Anderson.
Yep.
Against the Roosters. 3 points, Hilliam Lukey.
Yep.
4 points is Nathan Cleary. These last two are tight. Then 5 points is Turbo.
That's very fair. And we're going to have to scissors, paper, rock for our player of the week.
Are we?
So I've gone 1 point, Adam Reynolds.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like maybe a bit of bias going Milne over Reynolds.
Milne.
Sorry,
That's
Zane.
Disgraceful.
And then I've very similar from there on in. Anderson 2 points, Lukey 3 points, but I've gone Turbo with 4. And Cleary, 2 point field goal in his return game, 5.
Well, can we come to a general agreement or paper, scissors, rock? Okay.
What do you? I reckon scissors, paper, rock's more fun.
I feel like Turbo just.
You
look at his super coach scores.
Well, I was about to say. I was literally about to say only because he clutched up my super coach. Without him, I would have lost. So because of that, Turbo, you're our player of the week.
But Cleary's very unlucky not to get it.
Oh yeah, big time. He gets 9 points. He's right. And they both get 9 points. There's no bonus points for Turbo, but Turbo is deemed.
Reynolds is probably a good choice.
Bit hard done. I was going to give him more than 1 point, but I'd already written the others. I was like, I was going to bump Anderson there. Shout out to Grant Anderson. Yeah. If you told me at the start of the year he'd collect 4 points.
Tane Milne.
We'd collect 1 point.
Yeah.
I need to go through and count how many players are actually on the leaderboard because there's a lot. There's a lot of players that just randomly get 1 point.
Tom Burgess.
Yeah.
Is on 1 point.
Oh, I can actually.
What's that Sharks guy?
Who
played against the Storm? The Sharks.
Atkinson?
Yeah, Atkinson.
Yeah. Here, look, this is how many players we've got in here. So we've got nearly 90.
Fermor, Farlongo, Wilson, Tracy, Lenu.
There's some absolute guns in here.
Fuiaki.
Ponga's on 1 point. Tomoko. Ola Kawadu's only on 1.
Fuiaki, I gave him 1 against South.
Yeah, Fina Fuiaki's on 1. And then 2 points. Braden Burns. Fogarty's in there. Taruva. Toto. Chad Townsend's there. Armstrong.
Hazelton.
Tom Hazelton's on 5, Zane. He's on 5.
Origin contender.
And then our leader currently, it hasn't been updated from last week's points, but Edwards was leading heading into last week.
I don't think it would be. How is Teddy on that much?
And then Teddy Burden jumped up.
How is Teddy on second?
I don't know.
I can't.
Zane's biased and he's going to go against.
I don't know
make sure that doesn't
he's
happen.
got that many points, but
so it is quite competitive. Make sure you go to our Instagram and check out the full leaderboard. Or I posted the top 10, and then Zane, everyone's favorite segment. It's the Reese Wesser in the wet try of the week, brought to you by the Vintage Thread.
This week it goes to far longer against the Storm.
Nice.
The Storm.
Yeah,
That final
nice.
try was just that charge down. Just a very
With the-
exciting try. Just every time Falonger scores, it's just very exciting.
With his big
Just-
swan
just
dive?
his energy he's got
Yeah.
when he scores, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
rocking headgear now too. He's trying to
Yeah.
look like Matt Burton.
Who else
Is
is
he
wearing? Harry Grant's wearing headgear. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone's just trying to copy Matt Burton. Who isn't wearing headgear? Like, why wouldn't you want to wear headgear when your hero Matt Burton wears it? That's all I'm saying. Let's get into a round 21 predictions. We're starting the week off with a thrilling game across the Dutch. It's the Warriors and the West Tigers. Also, I don't know why this popped into my head, but the Olympics start soon, just
They
quietly.
do too, yeah.
We should do a bit of Olympics coverage. I don't know how. Like, I don't know how you incorporate that into predictions or
We're
anything.
talking
But
about the NRL. I'm going to go Warriors in this game.
Why?
We're at home. Just they got to win. They
Against the
can't-
Tigers?
They can't lose to the Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm going Warriors. And what should my prediction be? I'm going to say it rains.
It rains.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go the Warriors across the Dutch. I think they're probably due for a win. And I'm going to go. This is a very, very bold take in this game, Zane. I've had this one in the back pocket for a while. You ready? I'm glad you're sitting down because this is bold. The Warriors to kick a goal.
Okay.
I know it's bold, but I think they can do it this week. And then the next game, do you have it up, or do you want me to tell you? It's Eels Storm.
Eels. I'm going to tip Storm, but not by. Like, I feel like Eels could show up for this despite not having Moses. I just have a feeling.
Really?
But you watched us said that they'll lose by like heaps now. But
Why is there no Thursday night footy? Is it because of NRLW?
maybe.
We're going to do NRLW tipping.
Are we?
Yeah,
May
I'm
as
putting you
well.
on the spot.
Yeah,
I
may as
want to do
well.
that.
We
May
will.
as well. Storm, you said, sorry?
Yeah, you'd think, like, common sense, you'd
Yeah.
think Storm should win. My bold prediction is Parramatta to have the first interchange of the game.
Ooh.
Make the first interchange before the Storm do.
Eels first interchange. I don't mind that. I'm going to go Storm because the Eels are coached by Trent Barrett.
Who's
and they
reffing the
suck.
game? Okay, Liam Kennedy has this game. Let's bring up the referees at every game. Why
Yeah.
not? And in the Warriors Tigers, they have Peter Goff.
I'm going to go the Para PA chant to be heard.
I was going to do
The
that.
embarrassing PA chant.
Reffing the Broncos and the Bulldogs.
Oh,
Who do you think it is?
I don't. Please just not Jared Sutton.
It is Grant Atkins.
Oh, we'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
This game's interesting to me.
I don't think it's interesting.
I'm going to go Broncos just because I feel like they need this win.
Am I allowed to tip the Broncos as well?
If you want to.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll
sure
be tipping the
choice.
Dogs. And your prediction?
Ooh. I mean, I'm going to say there's a sign in the crowd, like, aimed at Reece Walsh to, like, get his jersey or
Yeah, I
something.
like that.
You know, just jersey Walshy, something like that.
Walsh themed sign. I like that. I'm going Bulldogs, shockingly. I know that might surprise a few people. And my prediction is going to be an angry kid to yell on TV. If you know, you know.
Yes, I do know.
I met him. Did I tell you I met him at
Yeah.
Magic Round? Yeah.
How
Legend.
old is he?
He's old now. He's like an old teenager, like
Yeah.
probably 17 now.
Okay, yeah.
Like just judge. I didn't
Yeah.
say. I didn't ask for any
Yeah.
idea or anything, but
Yeah.
He
Okay,
looked- he was
I'm
pretty-
trying to think
he
how old
was-
he
he'd
would have
grown
been.
up.
He would have been like 10, 11 at
yeah,
that time. So.
he'd grown up. It was like I didn't know who he was. He was like, I'm the 2018 Bulldogs kid. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? And then later on, I was like, oh, he's the kid that yelled at the TV. Legend, icon. Like
Yeah,
he's
got-
up there
he
with
got
Jason
interviewed
David
as
and
well,
Hectic
didn't he?
Fred. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He's a hero. He's a
Next up is
No,
Cowboys versus
yeah.
the Sharks.
nearly Penguins.
Another
They're not
interesting
really.
game. The Cowboys are favourites at home.
Yeah, that doesn't.
For that reason, I'm
surprise
going to tip them.
me. At North Queensland. Yep,
And as my bold prediction, I'm going to go 2 forwards to score in this game.
that is bold. So you go on Cowboys and 2 forwards to score.
Oh, and the referee is Adam G. Just putting it out there.
Top G,
Yeah.
Adam G.
Ref in the Roosters Manly game, please. Please.
So
He hasn't-
before we get to that,
hasn't been
Zane, let
seen
me do
yet.
my prediction.
Oh my god. No, do yours. I've just seen the ref for the man.
So I'm going Cowboys, and I'm going to go as a prediction. I don't know, an obvious try to be ruled no try.
Okay, no, you're still bitter, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Next up, I'm going to say this is game of the round.
Yeah.
We could say Roosters
think so.
versus Manly at Allianz with referee Ashley Klein. So
Shout out to you, Hainsey.
Oh, jeez. For that reason, with Ashley Klein referee, I'm tipping Manly.
Yeah, that's valid.
And I'm going to say Ashley Klein gets abused by the Roosters supporters. I'm just like, please have Ashley Klein ref this game, please.
I've gone a bit more specific in my notes for you. I think we know exactly what Roosters fan will be abusing Ashley Klein. I'm going Manly as well.
Yeah.
I think Manly are looking very good.
I just feel like, yeah.
And I'm going to go with Tom Trbojevic try. Nice and simple.
Yeah.
And then Dragons versus Panthers at Win Stadium. You going to go to this game, Zane?
I'll see, because I might be working.
Yeah, I will. That's why I'll be at the game. Work commitments. Shout out to the mighty St.
So I might show up. I don't know. I might make a cameo appearance, maybe at the end of the game, just to meet the players.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
This is a bold take. I'm going to say... I'm going to say Panthers win, even though it's in Wollongong. I think this is where their run starts. My bold prediction is Zane to get a selfie with Brian Toto.
Oh, I like it.
This means I kind of have to go to this game now, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you want,
if I want to get this prediction right, I've got to get a selfie with Brian Toto. Yeah. So he better not brush me off.
Oh, imagine he brushes you.
Oh, swear to God.
If you get the selfie, it is being put all over social media on Orange Peeler's social
Dylan
media.
Edwards, I should have said, but
yeah, he's your hero.
Not playing, so he might not even be there.
Yeah,
so
true.
You never know.
I'm going Panthers as well. I just think Panthers win. Although if you still on board the Winston working theory, which is a bit dead because it's been wrong a couple of times, I did work this morning at the Dragons, so maybe they'll win. My bold prediction with Panthers winning, I'm going Winston to not be on TV.
This time?
Usually if they lose, I'm not on the field, which means I shouldn't be on TV.
And the referee for this game is Jared Sutton. What? What's the shock of that? You might run into him.
No, I will run into him.
Oh.
So this is a peek. This is a peek behind the curtain for you listeners. If you made it this deep into the podcast, this is some Winston Dragons content. So my job at the Dragons, ladies and gentlemen, is to film the coin toss for the Dragons story. Get on the Dragon socials and go watch the coin toss, my footage. Jared Sutton is at the coin toss, which means I'm going to be standing this close to Jared Sutton.
Go give him a handshake or something?
Brother. I might have to get somebody else to do that because I don't know if I'm going to be able to control myself. Far out, man. Oh, that's made me feel things. I'm nearly crying. That's going to be...
Next up.
That's going to be interesting.
Next up, we got the Finns versus the Titans at Suncorp. Yep. Sunday afternoon on Channel 9.
Yep.
With referee Todd Smith.
Shout out to Todd.
Dolphins to bounce back. I think the Titans have hit their high for the year.
Yeah, they did lose, didn't they?
So, you never know. Titans could sneak an upset here, but I feel like Dolphins, this is their time. They can't start losing now. They need to be winning. So,
good motivational speech.
My bold prediction is...
Where's it at, Suncorp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Titans to lead by 26 and Dolphins to win. No, I'm kidding. I'll go...
Boring.
Both fullbacks to score.
Yeah, okay.
Keanu Kinney and Hammer to score. Is
AJ Brimson named?
I don't know. I'll have a look, actually.
Thank you. I feel like he's close to returning. Has he returned?
I'm assuming he's in the side.
Is he not?
No. He's just not there.
Out.
No, he's not there altogether.
Sorry.
He's not even on the reserves.
Yeah, wow. He was in the reserves the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, interesting.
So I'm going Dolphins, and my bold prediction is going to be, I don't know, what's someone on TV to do fins up. What do you reckon that would be paying? Surely a lot. Not much. All right, we're falling apart here. This is just...
Now, final game of the round, what can only be described as a blockbuster. The Raiders versus the Rabbitohs.
Are you making the trip down the M4? Or M1? I don't know what highway it is.
We're not. Sadly, I would love to have gone.
You'd have to rug up.
I really wanted to go.
Have you ever been to Canberra for footy? Or just in general?
I've been to Canberra
many times. You've been to Questacon?
Yeah. Yes.
Have you been to GIO Stadium?
I've been to the Institute of Sport for school, but not the stadium.
There you
I've
go.
gone past the stadium. So
I'm pretty much the opposite of you. I've been to Canberra pretty much exclusively for the rugby league. I've been there once.
I've been for school and I've been on a few just weekend trips down there. And the referee in this game is White Raymond.
Is who?
White Raymond.
His name's White.
Wyatt Raymond.
Oh, they said White Raymond. I'm
Wyatt
like,
Raymond.
is there a non-white? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
far out. We're falling apart here.
I think Raiders will win this game, but I'm low, so I'm tipping South.
Will South be wearing their white jersey?
Yes, we are wearing the white jersey in this one.
Because of their stupid away jersey that's identical to their home jersey.
I think Raiders get this done, don't you think?
Who are you tipping?
I'm tipping South. But
Yeah, I'm tipping Raiders. So I think Raiders get it done, and we need some bold predictions.
I'm gonna go Ben Hornby to wear a beanie
I like that
because he does it occasionally.
Yeah.
So I think down in the cold, I think he would.
I like that. Can I copy paste that?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I'm going with the exact same
Ben
prediction. I
Hornby to wear a
really
beanie.
like that. I really like that. Literally, CV Ben Hornby to wear a beanie, and then NRLW tips. Zane, we'll just verbalize the. No, we'll write them down. And I'll post them. I'll get around the NRLW, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good.
I'll try and get into it this year.
Yeah, it's actually good.
I don't have the best knowledge about it, but
they've got the Thursday night time slot now, so there's no excuse to not watch it on a Thursday.
Night games for the rest of the year.
Not for the men.
Really?
Well, maybe I
Surely
definitely
not.
this week.
Nah,
there is for the rest of the year.
Okay, it might just be.
But this week it's Thursday night women's, and I genuinely watch it because it's good rugby league, and the Thursday night game is Roosters Knights. That'll be a cracking
both these
game.
teams are pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I'm going to tip Knights because they did win it last year.
Yep.
And I think
who do you go for? Do you have a team?
Nah,
not really.
Really, no.
All right, sorry, Knights and Knights. I'm also tipping the Knights, and then the next game is Sharks. Cowboys.
This is their first year, right?
No, second year.
Okay, who's new this year?
No new teams this year.
No
so
new
it's the
teams,
exact.
okay.
So there's 10 teams.
Because I was trying to work it out before. I'm like, who is new?
No, so there's 10 teams. It's the same 10 as last season, and then next year the Doggies come into it to ruin everyone's hopes and dreams, and then Warriors. Yeah, not yet.
Like South, Penrith, Manly,
Storm.
Storm don't have a side. Dolphins don't have a side. Warriors are returning.
Yeah, they're
year, right?
just coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Souths are getting ready to bid for one though. That's what I've heard. But
yeah, well, I think Souths have been bidding for a while and just keep getting rejected.
Yeah,
and same with Manly, but they'll be in eventually.
They'll all have a team eventually.
Yeah,
everyone will. So
yeah,
like we're doing it the right way, unlike what the AFL did and just throw all 18 clubs in and have a lack of talent. Like we're building it the right way.
And there's a lot of talk already that going to another two teams next year is probably. A lot of people think it's too soon. So to then bring in South, Panthers, Storm, it's too much. They're going the right way about it for sure. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to Watch Her Footy on Instagram. If you want NRLW updates and stuff, follow that page. It's remarkable. It's really good stuff. That's where I get all my NRLW news and stuff from. So shout out to them. They're like, there's probably other NRLW pages, but none that on that level. I'd like almost call it the bloke in a bar of NRLW, like the quality of like news and stuff. But yeah, sorry, Sharks Cowboys at points.
I've gone Sharksy.
Yeah, I have as well. Shout out to the Sharks halfback Taylor Preston, first Bulldog signing for 2025. So I'll be watching her closely this season. I don't have a team, so obviously Dragons.
Yeah,
I work there, so naturally I want them to win. But I'll just be watching the Doggies players. So I'm excited for this season purely for that.
Next
Broncos Eels.
Well,
this one's at Suncorp.
In the past, Broncos been a pretty good side, but
Yeah.
I've heard Eels are pretty rubbish in the NRLW. So
They-
I'm assuming Broncos win that game.
Eels, I think, won one game
and
last
looking
year
at the
in
odds,
grand finals.
probably expecting Broncos win.
Yeah, so we're both going Broncos there as well.
How are the Dragons in the NRLW now?
They go all right. They
Yeah.
didn't play finals last year, but they
This
go all
next
right.
game, Titans were in the grand final, weren't they?
Yeah, no.
Yes,
I don't think. Were they grand finals?
They were. Against
No,
the
yeah, they
Knights.
were. They were.
They should have won it. They remember Tamika Upton took over
Yeah.
and won it for
Yeah.
them.
Titans have Chapman, who
Yeah, they have
killed
a
it for
good
New
side,
South
don't they,
Wales.
the Titans?
Yeah, they do.
Probably
Here, let me read some names. 'cause
Probably tip the Titans.
They have Evania Paliti is a good player. Jamie Chapman obviously killed it for New South Wales. Emily Bass, Queensland. Talia Fuyamano, I think, used to play for Dragons.
Yes.
And obviously her brother did. Lauren Brown's a gun halfback. Shannon Marto. Shaylee Bent,
I've heard that
gun.
name.
Georgia Hale,
I've heard that name.
very, very good. So definitely some good players as well. And the Dragons have a pretty solid
I'll go
lineup
the
as
Titans
well.
because they were in the grand final last year. So
Yeah,
I guess
that's valid.
just how you do it.
I'm going to go the Dragons. Finally,
At
a
home.
point of difference. It's at Wynn Stadium, and they are. I will give a shout out to the Dragons here. They're 5'8", and one of their superstar players is at the Olympics at the moment, and he's missing the start of the season because they're in the Olympics for the rugby sevens for New Zealand. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's hectic. Imagine if that was like an NRL player. Insane. But anyway, the last game for the NRLW It's $1.90 each way.
Oh.
The betting can't decide. It's Tigers Raiders.
Tigers have to win in some, don't they? So we'll go to the Tigers.
Oh, good dribble. I'm actually going to go the Raiders.
Okay.
The Raiders 5/8 was the second Bulldog signing.
Okay.
So I'm following the doggies this year. The doggies signings. That'll do us, Zane.
All right. That's round 21 preview.
Yeah.
Done.
Let's trot, baby.